takes it over. So he was scamming insurance companies from taxi drivers, Uber drivers, Lyft drivers. He was performing unnecessary surgeries. So what you said, this is the largest RICO case ever filed in the state of New York. You guys, wrap that around your brain. That's bigger than the mafia.
This moment marks a significant lesson in growth and awareness. Recently, Dr. Emmanuel Manny Hostin, an accomplished orthopedic surgeon and husband of the View co-host Sunny Hostin, was taken into custody in what is being called the largest fraud prosecution in New York's history. Authorities allege his involvement in a sweeping web of corrupt practices tied to racketeering charges under RICO laws. The magnitude of this case is staggering. More than 200 individuals face accusations, many of them respected medical practitioners, all suspected of orchestrating a highly organized and far-reaching insurance fraud scheme.
Only about 31% of Americans trust our healthcare system. We have a terrible healthcare system.
The sheer scale of this case, coupled with the involvement of high-profile figures like Dr. Emmanuel Hostin, has captured widespread media attention. What makes it especially alarming is the gravity of the accusations. Prosecutors claim that Hostin and his co-defendants carried out unnecessary surgeries and procedures, often targeting unsuspecting patients from working-class backgrounds who placed their trust in medical professionals. The use of the RICO statute, originally introduced in the 1970s to dismantle mafia organizations and combat organized crime, underscores the seriousness of the allegations. Rarely has this law been applied to healthcare fraud, making the case not only massive in size, but also unprecedented in nature.
Doctors suffer because of big corporations as well. Doctors that want to do good.
Many of the alleged victims were drivers for Uber, Lyft, and traditional taxi services who were pressured into undergoing medical procedures they didn't truly need, or were misled into believing those procedures were essential for their well-being. This manipulation not only put lives at risk but also allowed the accused to bill insurance companies at inflated rates. The lawsuit was filed by the American Transit Insurance Company, ATIC, which claims it was defrauded of more than $459 million, an amount that far exceeds the losses seen in most prior healthcare fraud cases.
Let's not forget who she is. She's been, for years, lecturing America about morality, inequality, systemic failure.
According to investigators, the network of clinics, hospitals, and legal teams exploited weaknesses in the insurance billing system, creating a vast scheme built on fraudulent claims and cash kickbacks. The arrest of Dr. Emmanuel Hostin sent shockwaves not only through the medical community but also into the world of daytime television. Given his wife Sunny Hostin's outspoken reputation and frequent role in shaping public opinion on The View, the decision to pursue charges under RICO highlights the government's determination to hold medical professionals accountable when they are suspected of abusing the healthcare system, a move that underscores both the seriousness and the rarity of this case.
Like my husband, operates on someone even though they don't have insurance.
The lawsuit centers on deeply troubling accusations against Dr. Emmanuel Hostin and a number of other medical professionals. With more than 200 individuals involved and hundreds of millions of dollars at stake, it is shaping up to be a landmark case that could leave lasting marks on both the U.S. legal system and future healthcare policy. Prosecutors allege that the group deliberately exploited weaknesses in insurance and healthcare systems by billing companies for coverage while carrying out unnecessary procedures, many of them invasive surgeries. In many instances, insurance providers were sued in order to secure payment for work that should never have been performed in the first place. Among the most affected were working-class individuals such as Uber, Lyft, and taxi drivers, who were convinced these interventions were medically necessary. According to the charges, patients were steered toward unwarranted orthopedic and joint surgeries along with other invasive operations. These practices, authorities claim, were part of a much larger scheme designed to fabricate medical expenses and secure massive insurance reimbursements. Investigators also suspect that Dr. Hostin and his associates accepted illicit kickbacks, cash rewards paid to doctors and clinics in exchange for funneling patients into this fraudulent cycle. While the allegations are still being tested in court, if proven true, they reveal not only a serious breach of medical ethics but also a betrayal of the public's trust in healthcare professionals. For patients, the fallout is just as troubling. Many may now be dealing with long-term health complications or trauma from procedures that, according to the charges, never should have been performed in the first place. The center of the lawsuit stands the American Transit Insurance Company, ATIC, a New York-based insurer specializing in coverage for taxi drivers and ride-share workers. ATIC claims it was systematically targeted with fraudulent bills for treatments that were ineffective, never actually carried out, or grossly overpriced. The company points to the staggering figure of $459 million in alleged losses as evidence of how far-reaching the scheme may have been. Prosecutors argue this was not a collection of random incidents but rather a carefully coordinated network of clinics and possibly legal and financial middlemen who collectively exploited insurance loopholes. The no-fault insurance system, originally designed to speed up payments for accident-related care without requiring lengthy battles over blame, was allegedly manipulated to funnel money into the scheme. Complicating matters further is ATIC's own reputation. The insurer has previously faced criticism for underpaying doctors and denying legitimate claims, raising questions about its motivations. Some observers wonder whether the company is seeking genuine accountability or simply using this case as a way to recover its losses. Regardless, its involvement adds yet another layer of complexity to a legal fight already overflowing with twists and consequences. This scandal has only deepened public frustration with the American healthcare system, which many already view as flawed, profit-driven, and riddled with dishonesty. The accusations against Dr. Emmanuel Hostin and his co-defendants, particularly the claims of unnecessary treatments, reinforce long-standing fears that some medical professionals put profit ahead of patient well-being.
I mean, Pat, you're married. Tom, you're married. Your husband's doing something, if he's allegedly doing something like this, you guys would know if your wives were up to.
The defense has worked to reshape the narrative. Dr. Emmanuel Hostin's legal team argues that he is not a fraudster but a respected surgeon unfairly targeted by a hostile insurance industry. They maintain that many of the charges stem from distorted portrayals of standard medical procedures and billing practices. According to them, Hostin followed proper protocols, performed surgeries only when necessary, and received payments that were legitimate and customary, not the product of deception or shady dealings. Their strategy is to cast him as a reputable physician caught in the middle of a corporate power struggle while portraying the insurance company as the real aggressor. It's a tactic often seen in high-profile cases. If the plaintiff appears untrustworthy, the entire lawsuit can begin to look questionable. But the scandal has reverberated far beyond the courtroom. Sunny Hostin, Dr. Hostin's wife and co-host of The View, has long built a reputation on sharp commentary about fairness, ethics, and accountability. Yet now, with her husband accused in a fraud case worth hundreds of millions, her own credibility is under scrutiny. What has drawn even more media attention is her silence. Known for speaking candidly on controversial issues, Sunny Hostin has remained completely quiet about this ordeal. No remarks on television, no social media posts, no public statement. Her silence has sparked waves of criticism and speculation. Many wonder whether she knows more than she is revealing or whether her public image can ever fully recover. Among the loudest voices was Joe Rogan, known for his blunt and often provocative opinions. On his podcast, he accused Sunny Hostin and The View of hypocrisy, pointing out that she had spent years condemning corruption, injustice, and the missteps of public figures. Yet, when her own family faced allegations of fraud, she chose to say nothing. Rogan ridiculed both her credibility and that of the show, even joking about the intelligence of its hosts in a way many considered harsh. While some criticized his comments as unnecessary, others agreed with his larger point. Those who demand accountability from others should also face scrutiny when placed under the spotlight themselves. The heart of this legal battle is the use of civil RICO provisions, laws originally designed in the 1970s to dismantle mafia families and organized crime networks. The unsettling twist is that those same laws are now being applied to doctors, clinics, and healthcare practices. For Sunny Hostin, the controversy resonates even more strongly. Some critics argue that her silence, combined with her history of outspoken commentary, now appears contradictory, making it harder for her to navigate the fallout. Being named in a civil RICO lawsuit carries enormous weight. It suggests involvement in an organization that functions like a criminal enterprise, even if that enterprise is a billing network or medical practice. Beyond financial damages, the professional and reputational consequences can be devastating. According to legal analysts, such cases are not solely about reclaiming money, they are also meant to discourage future misconduct across the industry. Unlike criminal trials, civil RICO actions do not require convictions for the case to move forward. Court observers predict this case, one involving more than 200 defendants, will evolve into a lengthy legal struggle, likely stretching on for years. Civil RICO statutes allow for triple damages, which means if the plaintiffs succeed, defendants could be ordered to pay over $1 billion. For Dr. Emmanuel Hostin, this raises the looming possibility of bankruptcy and professional ruin. For Sunny Hostin, it risks long-term damage to her credibility and career, making this one of the most closely watched legal dramas in recent memory.